Hello friends. So our first fully online class, our first lesson is going to be about area. This should be a little bit of review from last year, just a refresher. There might be a couple of new shapes that you're not quite familiar with, but this is what is going to get us started. Okay, so let's remember that area is the measure of space inside of a two-dimensional figure. Okay, and it's measured in square units. So if I had a rectangle, right, and its units are feet, okay, so it would take 6 squares to fill this in, so the area would be 6 square feet, because this side right here, it's kind of hard to see, this side is 1 foot and this side is 1 foot, so there's a 1 foot square. It takes 6 of those, so the area would be 6 square feet. Okay, so sometimes we see this is maybe in your kitchen or your bathroom if you have tiles, right? You could count the number of tiles and that would tell you the area for that space. Or like our classroom, it has those rectangular ceiling tiles. You could count those tiles. Okay, so here's the shapes we're going to be working with and the formulas used to find their area. So for a rectangle, the area is found by taking the length, that's this side, times the width, and you just multiply those together. For a square, and a square all sides are the same length, so to find the area, instead of taking length times width, you take the side squared, which is really just the side, times itself. So the side times the side. A parallelogram, even though it looks different, its area is also the base times the height, just like a rectangle. So here's your base, and here's your height. It's on the inside. Okay? In a triangle, oops, come on, there we go. The area is 1/2 of the base times the height. So again, here's my base. Here's my height. Or this can also be written as the base, it's hard to see, the base times the height divided by 2. Those are the same thing. And then for a trapezoid, it has 2 parallel lines here. Okay, so those will never cross each other. And those are going to be A and B. So the area of a trapezoid is this A plus B. We'll start with A. So here's A plus B, those divided by 2, then whatever that number is times the height. Okay? So let's do a couple examples together. We're going to start with a rectangle and parallelogram. Okay? So I'm going to start by writing my formula. The area equals the length times the width. Then I fill in what I know. Area equals, here's my length, times the width. Then I just use my calculator to do 63 times 35. And you get 2,205 square yards. So if I put 1 by 1 yards, like yardsticks, right, and I made a grid, it would take 2,205 of these squares to fill in that rectangle. Okay. In a word problem type form, so on this one, the area of the rectangle is 252 square meters. Find the length. I'm always going to start by writing my formula. Area equals length times width. Well, I don't know my length, so I'm going to leave that as an L. My area is 252. And my width is 7. Okay? So now I'm just solving an equation. I want to undo that times 7 by dividing by 7 to get L by itself. And 252 divided by 7 is 36 meters. Okay. Going back to a trapezoid, write our formula. If I look on my formula sheet, the area is A plus B divided by 2 times H. Let's fill in what we got. Well, here's A plus, here's B divided by 2 times my height of 4. Okay. 8 plus 6 is 14. So now we have 14 divided by 2 times 4. 14 divided by 2 is 7 times 4, which is 28. And if we don't know the units, we can say square units. Okay. And let's do a triangle. So this one is telling us the area. And we need to find the length. So we need to find the length right here. And this one's funky because it tells us the height on the outside of the triangle because it doesn't fit inside of the labeling. So start with your formula. The area equals 1/2 base times height. Let's use base times height over 2. I like that one better. So base times height over 2. And then we fill in what we know. Well, it tells me that the area is 35. I don't know the base, so I'm going to leave that as B. The height is 10 divided by 2. The first thing I need to do is get rid of that denominator, so I'm going to multiply by 2. We'll do green, I guess. Okay, that gives me 70 equals 10B. Then I divide by 10 to get B by itself. Get that 7 centimeters is our base length. Okay. So your practice for the week, there's a worksheet on the next page I'll show you. Oops. Sorry, my flipped upside down. Okay, so there's 28 problems on this page. And you can pick 20 of them to do over the next couple days. Okay, if you want, you can do them on paper. Just take a picture of your work and submit that to the Google assignment. Or you can go back to that document and there's a link. If you click it on the assignment instructions, it takes you to a Google form where you will type your answers. Okay, and then on the notes that are posted, if you still need to see some more examples while you're working, the next page has some more examples. So here's a couple more examples of each type. There's a rectangle, parallelogram, triangle, and trapezoid. Okay, if you need help, just refer back to this. This will be posted as week 1 notes. Okay, if you have any questions, just email me, let me know, and we will be having office hours this week as well.